She studied criminal law at Pennsylvania State University and earned her JD from Penn State Dickinson School of Law in 2008. She's prosecuted war criminals in The Hague, worked as an attorney and guardian ad litem, and much, much more. Welcome, Constance.
Thank you. That was a really eye-opening and very interesting presentation, so thank you. Yes, I'm Constance Gadell-Newton. I'm running for Governor of Ohio as the Green Party candidate, and I really welcome this invitation by the Food Policy Network to speak in support of your efforts to bring positive change to our food and farming sectors through well-considered and evidence-based policy development. So I'm a longtime resident of Columbus and a graduate of OSU. I studied philosophy at OSU, then went on to become a lawyer, and I now serve mostly low-income adults and children in the Franklin County courts as an attorney and guardian ad litem, so I represent the best interest of children in those cases. I also run my own practice, which has a mix of practice areas including criminal and juvenile law, civil rights, and activist defense cases. But I'm not just here as an attorney. I've also been part of the food justice movement and food security movement as an activist. So in my community in Columbus, I've cooked and served vegan and vegetarian food for the homeless and community events with Food Not Bombs. After several years of cooking, I started a community garden in my neighborhood, an urban neighborhood in Columbus, to start growing some of the food, building community, and teaching people how to do urban gardening for food. Two people close to me, my mother, who taught me to garden, and my running mate, Dr. Brett Joseph, who's here today. They're both certified in permaculture, and I've spent many long hours helping my mom in her garden. Brett is currently a professor in sustainable agriculture and program coordinator at the Lorraine Community College. Yes, and Brett's here, so.
Thank you.
As a volunteer, board member, and customer of 3 natural food co-ops in Columbus, I've been promoting organic and sustainable farming practices for several years and had the opportunity to support and work with local farmers at those food co-ops. So here is some information about what we hope to do as governor and lieutenant governor. So in my work with children, I am often looking out for the best interests of children, and so thinking about that as I craft my platform for governor. There are nearly 600,000 children living in poverty in Ohio, and 630,000 children are living in food insecure households. Nearly 1 out of every 4 children in our state lives without consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy lifestyle. So how is this possible when Ohio has 15 million acres of land and farming, and upwards of 50% of the state's total land area is considered prime farmland? In gross domestic product terms, food and agriculture is Ohio's top industry, adding $105 billion of production to the state's economy and accounting for 1 out of every 7 Ohio jobs. Ohio's land base has 400 types of soil and multiple climate zones, allowing for a wide diversity of agricultural uses and products. We also currently have 900 food processing plants producing a wide variety of food products. My point is that we have enough farmland and food production capacity in Ohio that no child, no family should ever go hungry. Clearly, the problem of food insecurity does not stem from a lack of production capacity. Rather, there's a problem of food quality, distribution, and access. And I really appreciated some of the presentations talking about the redlining, segregation in our areas. So that is also part of the food justice movement, the food deserts, bringing food to food deserts, and that's something that I've been a part of. Our agricultural system is highly productive, but the lives of hundreds of thousands of Ohio's undernourished children are in jeopardy. We must ask, is this a sustainable system? A system capable of meeting our most basic nutritional needs by yielding a diversified, quality diet for all, now and in the future? Also, we must ask, is this a just system? I think not. As a candidate for the state's highest office, I feel it's my duty to focus attention on the issues of food security and food justice as one of my highest priorities, and to offer platform solutions that address the problem at its root causes. In this area of climate uncertainty, it's clear that farming and food production systems are subject to both economic and ecological realities that require adaptive and long-term thinking. We're facing threats to our critical water and soil resources and to whole ecosystems, including Lake Erie's Western Basin, where agriculture can and must be part of the solution. We've become accustomed to agricultural policy being dictated by the federal government and by a handful of large agribusiness firms that control the lion's share of our global food supply. As with other sectors of the economy, automation and scaling up has been the trend, yet at a cost. The truth is, we're becoming more food insecure as our systems of agricultural finance and food production have too long been dictated by the needs of Wall Street investors, rather than the needs of the farming communities and local consumers themselves. As a candidate for governor, I'm calling for systematic change, a transition to a sustainable food economy that's more diversified, more equitably distributed, more adaptable, and more secure than the system that's currently in place. Our administration will establish public funding and tax incentives that promote the rapid development of our local food supply chains, needed to support vibrant local and regional food economies. This includes value-added producer grants and similar public investments to facilitate flows of information and financial capital to direct-to-consumer, intermediated, and hybrid local food supply systems, including local food hubs, business incubators, and co-ops. By strengthening and expanding our local food systems, following principles of sustainable agriculture, and reducing the distance from farm to table, we will not only alleviate food insecurity, we'll also achieve a substantial reduction in food waste, while improving in public health, promoting both rural and urban community development, restoring farm ecosystems, creating quality living wage jobs on and off the farm. We will engage with agribusiness and community stakeholders to expand markets for locally sourced and fairly priced agricultural products. We'll remove administrative barriers to wholesale local food procurement by schools, hospitals, and other institutions. We'll support expansion of food assistance matching programs like produce perks and healthy school lunch subsidies, along with support for mobile and electronic fresh food markets, recognizing that access to nutritional food is a right, not a privilege. We'll join with our farmers and farm communities to vigorously pursue farmland protection, including locally coordinated initiatives to alleviate the social and economic conditions that contribute to sprawl and lead to overvaluation and overtaxation of prime farmland. We will work to remove legal and economic barriers that prevent innovative practices in sustainable agriculture from being adopted at scale. It's unconscionable that farmers should have to bargain away their ability to make sound farm management decisions in order to secure access to the commodity markets. As the original stewards of the land, farmers should be able to earn a secure livelihood while working to improve health and productivity of soil, plants, and livestock. We will advance legislation to require full disclosure and labeling of GMO products, an application of the precautionary principle to resolve questions involving scientific uncertainty in a manner that minimizes risk to public and ecological health. Similarly, we'll pursue sensible labeling laws to support informed consumer choice and truth-based marketing of food products. And we'll rapidly transition to integrative whole farm practices that sustain Ohio's farming communities while eliminating all forms of animal cruelty and ensuring humane treatment of all farm animals. We will restore state-level recognition and support for local food policy councils, These democratically constituted local governance systems comprise the diversity of stakeholder interests that need to be at the table in the formulation of sustainable policy. In Columbus, most school children qualify for free school lunches, and many children get 2 meals a day at school. It's important that these meals be healthy. There's a great opportunity to nourish our young students through an organic and local school lunch program. To involve the community and the kids themselves in school lunch production, we need to bring back home economics and life skills courses for kids so they can learn how to cook and run a household and their own budget. Farmers can help bring healthier meals to kids in our schools and help solve the hunger problem in Ohio, and they should have help from the state to make sure that early childhood nutrition is a priority. Thank you again for the work that you're doing here. I think it's very exciting to hear about some of the financing ideas for food hubs and food cooperatives. It's something that I care very passionately about, so I thank you for inviting me to speak at this forum and for the work that you're doing for our food communities here in Ohio. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Constance.